Hello again, everyone. Joanne with StampingInTheValley.com, and welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to be using this Crafting Forever set in the new catalog. This is a lot of fun. And if you're a demonstrator, right here we have the little Stampin' Up logo or the angel policy that goes on the back of a card. So I was happy to get a new one of these because my other one was about worn out. But anyway, this is a great little craft set just to make a very simple card. And here's the one that I designed. We're going to be doing some ink blending right here on just some plain Whisper White cardstock. And I used my in colors, the Tranquil Tide, the Lemon Lime Twist, and the Berry Burst. I love the way that these colors really come together. Our new in colors, no matter what combination you put together, they just seem to match. So let's move this out of the way and start with our card. We're going to start with a Whisper White thick card base of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we're going to open it this way. You know, sometimes I turn it and we open it that way, but this time we're going to open it this way. So we'll set that aside for right now. Then we've got our first layer of the Tranquil Tide, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 4. Then we have a layer of Berry Burst, and that's cut at 5 by 3 3/4. And then we have our piece of Whisper White that we're going to be working on, and that's 4 3/4 by 3.5. Let's move these two elements out of the way, and we're going to start with this cardstock right here, just our small piece of Whisper White, and we're going to do some ink blending. Now, when I do this, I just use our sponges, okay? I don't know if you are familiar with our sponges. They come in a package like this, okay? There's 3 of them, and I cut them into sections, okay? I just cut them with a scissor in half and then into 3 sections, so you actually get 6 sponges out of 1. I think they're fantastic. Sometimes, you know, there's places where you can use sponges, and then there's places that you can use, or that you need to use sponge daubers. But this right here, this technique we'll use the sponges with. Okay, so let's open our ink. We'll use our Tranquil Tide, Berry Burst, and Lemon Lime Twist. Now, when you blend your ink, let me put these at the top. When you blend ink, it's just a circular motion, okay? And we are going to start on this side of the paper with our Lemon Lime Twist. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper and put that down. Okay, now I'm going to take my sponge, dip it in my Lemon Lime Twist, nice and solid. I'm going to take it on my scrap paper and take off a bit of the darkest part of the ink. Then you're going to come in onto your Whisper White, and this is just regular cardstock. You don't need any special cardstock for this technique. You don't. I mean, you could use some shimmer, white shimmer. That would look great. And just continue to do this until you get the color and the shading. You want it to fade out this way. Always get your ink off first, okay, and then blend. I love that. Now, what I do, too, to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz is I do flick my edges to make it just a little bit more solid around there and kind of frame out that color for me a little bit. Okay, now, if that's not enough, we can come back. Nothing's written in stone. Now we're going to go into our Berry Burst. Same thing, ink it up. Get your, oh, I went into the wrong, so we'll just get a new sponge. No big deal. Into the Berry Burst with the new sponge, and take off the color, and then come right over here to your paper and start to add it. Look how pretty that is. I don't want it too dark, and I don't want clumps of ink either. But I do want a nice graduation in color. Come and flick those edges some. And sometimes I flick the edges to where I want the color, and then I know where to stop. Kind of gives me a little pattern or a place that I can see it's like, okay, that's enough color. So I just kind of keep rubbing this ink into itself. I love that. I am going to come back in with my lemon lime twist because I want it to come over into my berry burst a little bit. There we go. And see how that shades itself into itself. Isn't that lovely? Now we'll come in with the Tranquil Tide. This is such a bold color. I find myself stamping off a lot with it because it is so bold. But, wow, it sure does have a nice, pretty blue-green color, doesn't it, guys? If you hear the birds, I've got the window open in the craft room again today. It's a gorgeous day in Upper East Tennessee. I hope you guys are having fun. Look how pretty that paper. That paper went from nothing to this in no time. I'm going to keep blending this right into here just a little bit. I want to come into the pink a little bit, the berry burst, and just blend it into that Tranquil Tide. And I think I'm done. I like that. I'm going to move my scrap paper out of the way. Let me move that sponge that I ruined out of the way. Things happen. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our layers. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm keeping my ink open because right down here in the corner, in fact, let's just do that right now so that I can close the ink because I'm a mess. Let me bring this in, or because I can make a mess. I'm going to stamp something right here on the inside of the card. Let me show you what I did on this one. I took the pens here and I turned them upside down and I just got their tips. And then I did just a little bit of shading right here. So I want to come in with the Tranquil Tide first. Not getting the top of my card into the picture. And I'm just going to add a little color right here in the corner. Okay, then I'm going to go with the Berry Burst. And come back in with that. Can you see that right there? And then I'm going to come in with the Lemon Lime Twist and just shade my corner right there. Love that. That's plenty. Okay. Now we can move all of this out of the way and close the ink for right now. Okay, let's start with our layers. First, we've got our Tranquil Tide, and we're going to use our snail. You can use snail or Tombow, anything that you'd like to lay these layers down. This is a very simple card. I'm going to bring our base in. My sponges out of the way. And we're going to attach this, leaving our little border all the way around. Nice. Now we're going to bring in our Berry Burst and do the same thing. And lay this layer down, and again leaving 1/4 of an inch around the whole card to give you a nice layering effect right there. Okay, let's bring in our paper that we worked with, and now we're going to bring in our black archival ink, and we're going to, let's get that nice and straight on that line. Now when you do something like this and you want things to be straight, when you put them on your block, look at the top right here, and if you've got it straight here, when you stamp it down, it's going to be straight on your project. So I'm going to take these, and I want my ink points down, okay, on the front of the card. Let's take my black archival ink this up really well right there. See how nice that ink goes right on there, very, very solid. This is a very crisp image. Now I'm going to just come here between the Lemon Lime Twist and the Berry Burst, and I'm going to just press. Perfect every time. Now I'm going to take my Crafting Forever, Housework Whenever. Love that saying. Okay, ink it up really well. Can use a little bit more ink. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And then I'm going to come over here and kind of in the middle. And again, I'm lined up at the top here with this rubber stamp, okay? And I know that this is straight. So if I keep my block straight on my grid, I should get a good image. And I did. Nice. Okay, bring the scrap paper back in. We are almost done with this card, guys. Just going to move that to the side. I'm going to bring our card base in. And I'm going to put it right down in this corner. And now I want the tips of my ink. And I'm going to go just like that. Isn't that cute? Wouldn't you love to get a card like this in the mail? Let me move this to the side again and close my black ink. And then we're going to bring this in, add some snail. Not too much to the edge on that one. Okay. Bring your card base in. Leave your 1/4 inch border. You've got a beautiful card. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? And you can write your sentiment. This card, I did my color on this side. This card, I just did a little bit of color on that side. You can always change it up. Now, I thought the card needed just a little bit more on the front. And these are our bitty bows. They are felt, guys. I used a berry burst one on this one. I think I'm going to use a tranquil tide on this one. They come with the little dot on the back. You just have to peel it off. This is the greatest embellishment for a card. You don't have to tie a bow or anything. It does it for it. Now this, because there's tranquil tide over here, I'm going to put my little bow. I'm going to put it right here. I wanted to pick up with the berry burst. Here's our 2 cards for today. I hope you like this quick little video using the Crafting Forever stamp set. And you can craft forever. I love this also. Isn't that fun? Thanks for watching. And remember, if you order $25 in product from me, these are your 2 free kits for this month. Watch the video at the end of this one, and I'll explain everything and show you how to put everything together. Remember, with the card, you also get an envelope. Thanks again for watching. Have a fantastic crafting day. Please go to stampinginthevalley.com. Click on the big blue button to order any and all of your Stampin' Up! Supplies. Thanks for watching.